All right. Hello, everyone, whether you're live or on replay. Welcome to another call, another journey of the Dolphin Healing Collective. So, my name is Beth Catherine. I'm the founder of the Dolphin Rose Temple and also the host of these free calls that we come together for usually about every couple months or so. I go with the flow. I'm going to try to be more consistent with these in 2025. So the vibe of these calls, the Dolphin Healing Collective calls, is they are free journeys where we connect with the whales, the dolphins in the ocean, and we bless the ocean, we bless the dolphins and the whales, and we also receive blessings and healings from them because it really is this sort of infinity loop of love between us, between the ocean beings and water beings and our human family and the whales and the dolphins. So today we are really focusing on honoring and blessing and loving up orcas, our orca family. And this call is really near and dear to my heart because if you ask me, uh, who, if I had to pick a favorite child, it's like that. If I had to pick the most favoritist connection, whales and dolphins in the ocean, I had to just pick one, it would be the orcas, and it would be specifically the southern resident orcas. So the southern resident orcas are found, for those of you who are new to the southern residents, they're actually the most studied, I learned today, they're the most studied marine mammal in the world, the group of marine mammals in the world. And they live in the waters off of Vancouver Island, and like Seattle, that kind of area, the Pacific Northwest, right? We would call it. It obviously transcends borders. Because the orcas like, why did you put these fake lines here? So weird. And they're so beautiful and they're really interesting because the southern residents' favorite food are salmon, Chinook salmon. And so when you see videos of orcas like going after baby whales or seals or like, being like, oh, hunter orca, that's a different like pod kind of orca that is not the southern residents. It's really interesting. The different pods all over the world, the different I don't know if they call them subspecies. I don't know what the scientists call them, but the different kind of groupings of orcas all over the world, and even in the Pacific Northwest, there's three different kinds, have different food preferences, different behaviors, different language. And as far as I know, they tend to not even mate between groups. They really have their own kind of like vibes. They're like, we love salmon, we're a little more chill. And then, so there's the residents, and then we have the transients. So the residents stay kind of in those home waters. That's why they're called the residents. They like the home waters. They're like kind of like me. They're like, I just like to be cozy at home, like to like, like my home. And then we have the transients, which kind of go in those waters and they go out and they go offshore and they go down south and north and wherever they go. And they just are a little bit more like, introvert, extrovert. They're like, meh. And then we have the offshores, which we don't know too much about, which are the orcas that just live in the open ocean and they're just like kind of a mystery. It's really, really cool. So those are the three kind of orcas in that area. So the southern residents are the most studied, of course, because they chill there. They're like always there somewhere in those oceans. But it also makes them really susceptible because imagine if you have a home that you really love, but then like people start coming in and kind of fucking it up and putting holes in the walls and like not cleaning stuff up and putting chemicals and this, and then they take food out of your fridge and it's kind of like, whoa, trying to, have a safe, healthy, happy home here. So for the southern residents, their diet is Chinook salmon and they love salmon. That's what they eat. And humans, what we've done is we've put these fish farms in the waters, these open penned fish farms. So basically you think, people think they're doing a good job. They're like, I'm eating farmed fish. I'm not taking the wild salmon from the orcas. I'm farmed fish is probably good. And a lot of the time you'll never know that you're eating farmed fish because it will just say salmon. It's just going to say salmon. It won't say wild salmon. It's just going to say salmon, so good for you. Look at this salmon. And that is going to come 9 out of 10 times, no, 10 out of 10 times, I would say, from a fish farm. The most popular fish farms would be in these waters off the coast of BC and Canada and in Norway. And they really wreak havoc because it's a really unnatural way for salmon to live. And so when you have, of course, you look at humans, when we have ourselves living in unnatural ways, we get sick, right? If we're in Wi-Fi and we're eating processed foods and we're not, getting the circadian rhythm and eating, close to the land, we get sick. Well, it's the same with these salmon. So they start getting sea lice and they start getting diseases and in these pens, but there's nothing to protect the wild salmon because they're just these open net pens. And so the sea lice and the diseases will just flow to the wild salmon population. So not only are we overfishing and taking way more than we should be from the ocean and from the salmon, we're also literally poisoning and diseasing, that's a word, the waters so that the wild salmon stocks have absolutely plummeted because of this. And if you're a southern resident orca, this is really bad news because that is your source of food. And again, the southern residents don't have the flexibility that the transients or the offshores do of like, oh, let's go eat seals, let's go up here and eat some porpoise. They are like, okay, no, but I eat salmon. That's what I eat. They're like the vegetarians of the whale world. Yes. And then we also have issues, so they're malnourished, they're not getting enough food. And we have a lot of toxins in the water, as ocean, you know, drainage, pesticides, chemicals going into the waters. And then you have these animals which are very blubber rich. They need to keep themselves warm in these very, very cold waters. If you've ever been to Vancouver Island or Seattle in the wintertime and gone in without a wetsuit, you'll know how cold it is. It's very, very cold. So they need a lot of blubber. And one of the things about fats is fat is more soluble for certain toxins. It can be where toxins and chemicals nest in and just kind of say like, okay, this is a comfy place to be. And so when we have a mama giving breast milk to her baby, giving her milk to her baby, the toxins can actually come through that mother's milk in high concentrations. So it's really sad because there's so many issues. And then we have all the boat traffic, right? So we have these beautiful, beautiful animals that only, 100 years ago, 200 years ago would have been living such a pristine existence for the most part. Um, and within a very, very short amount of time, there's been all of these forces that have been really stacked against them, which has led to them, the southern residents, becoming an endangered species, an endangered, subset, or I don't know how the scientists do it, right? So we have one orca lady, beautiful, called J35. I think I forget, it was like Tahlequah. I think her First Nations name is something like Tahlequah. Um, and she made international headlines. She's a part of the J pod in the Southern Residents. There's three main pods of the Southern Residents. And she made international headlines because her baby died. And this was many years ago. And she carried her baby on her head for 17 days, which is the longest recorded, anything like that, a grief. And I feel like so many people, we really felt like it was such a message. And then there was more celebration in December because she'd given birth to a new calf. And unfortunately, this calf within about a week passed away and died. And she again was carrying the baby on her head. And this is really sad. And what's also sad is that there is only a 50% chance that a baby in a southern resident community, which is endangered, is going to live. Can you imagine, being a mom, that being pregnant and going, well, there's a 50% chance that my baby's going to live, and there's a 50% chance my baby's going to die. And those are the statistics right now for where we're at. That's what they're going through. And these animals, they feel more deeply than humans do, to be honest. If you really can connect into the heart essence and the lineage of the orcas and the spirit of the orca, and if you've ever had that connection, emotional connection with the orcas, you may know that the depths that they feel are so, so profound. And you could say maybe they're on par with a human that has gone really, really deep into their emotional body. But for the most part, humans aren't doing that right now. Thank you, Jessica, for. I didn't know she had her own website, Tahlequah. That's so beautiful. Bianca says your meditations from the of the Sea Summit are so fabulous. Thank you for receiving them. So, yeah. Is there anything else I want to share about that? Yeah, so we are coming together today to really bless and connect with J-Pod. And then, okay, we can't forget, like, dude, they've been through so much. They have also, the Southern residents have had crazy fucking psychotic men come in the 60s and literally come with nets and boats and stealing and kidnapping their family out of the waters and then putting them into SeaWorld and putting them into these facilities. So there's many orcas from what I remember when I was reading about it that are actually the descendants of a southern resident orca that taken from the water. So if you go to SeaWorld or if you see these orcas in captivity, some of them are literal descendants of the southern resident orcas. Really, really sad. So the amount of trauma that they've been through is astounding, but they are still here. And I am excited to connect with them today because when I've connected in with them and I connect in with them, they're so full of love and profound, just the most beautiful energy. And they really are, masters. The cetaceans and the whales are such master beings. So we're going to connect in with them today. We're going to, what I received from them is we're actually going to have a celebration of life, or a funeral celebration of life for the baby that recently passed, just about a month ago. And so we're gonna have just this quantum multidimensional celebration of life and a funeral, and also really bring this calves energy in. um so we'll go on a journey and do that, and then we're also just gonna send and work with the ancestors and the family of the southern residents who have crossed over, who are on the other side. And we're going to be working with them and really pulling from heaven, from the heavenly realms, what the southern residents need, what frequency, what needs to happen, what energy do they need to thrive and to live their highest mission. And we're going to be, pulling that in and asking for that to flow through the waters, flow through their beings, flow through the world. So, yeah, does that sound good? How is everyone feeling about going on a journey momentarily? Let me know in the comments. If you are on a replay, of course, you can always comment on YouTube and I will read them after. Just gonna have some. Beautiful. Okay. Corinne says, thank you for all your teaching. Sounds good. Yes. Okay, let me just feel into if there's anything else that wants to come through before we go in. I also will probably bring in Granny. Yanina says, yes, sounds great, Beth, excited. We'll probably bring in Granny. So, Granny is the oldest orca that we know of that lived. I believe she is a part of the J Pod. I don't know. I feel like she was like 100 years old. She was one of the first time I ever saw orcas in the wild. I saw Granny. Granny is like so famous amongst orca enthusiasts. I think she died around 2016 or 2017. And so orcas are matriarchal. And so typically the oldest female is the leader of the pod, and the children will stay with, well, the sons, the children, I think, is it both the females and the males or just the males? The children will stay with their mothers for their whole lives. I feel like if the female child goes on to have a family, they can like break off and kind of have their own subpod and come back. But the males will stay with their mamas for their whole lives. They're matriarchal. And Tara says, how old was she? Can you Google it? Can you go? I think she was like 100, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm way off, but can someone Google how old was Granny Orca? Because I feel like I would love to just invite her to come in to our journey today. Jessica says some reaches put her age at more than 90. Those are people years and people names, land concepts. Yeah, so she was like real old. And what's really crazy actually is I was looking at today, now the oldest member of J-Pod is like 24, 23 or 24 is now the oldest matriarch. So, there's been so many deaths, even in the adults. So I'm gonna try not to just like be so sad about that because I feel like they have a lot of actually beautiful energy to share with us today. Sarah says Google says estimated to be 105. So between 90 and 105, I guess, is what they estimate her at. So, okay. So thanks for looking that up. So we are going to go journey now, get into a journey to connect. And I'm really excited, especially for those of you who have never, connected into the Southern Residents. I am in love with them. I think you are too, you will be too. So if you're ready, have a sip of water, whatever you need to do, get comfy. And when you're ready, you can close your eyes and take a deep breath in. I'm gonna have a sip of water again. Okay, so let's begin this journey to connect with the Southern Resident Orcas, especially J-Pod. First, I'd like to call forth Archangel Michael, the blue ray angel, archangel, to co-create with all of our higher selves today, all of our souls that are gathering here, live or on replay. And just seeing this gathering held in a circle of blue flame or blue light around you and around all of us who are joining together today. And I also just want to thank you so much for being here. And I'm also feeling gratitude from the beings that we're working with today. You could have been doing anything with your time right now. And you felt the call just to, in that selfless energy, just show up for your family in the sea. And so first off, I just want to say a deep thank you for being here, live or on replay. And as we breathe in, just allowing this frequency of blue and now Mother Ocean, ocean waters to start filling this container, start filling this energy. And I want you to see the orcas, the southern resident orcas, and especially J-Pod arriving within these waters. So we call forth J-Pod, we call forth the southern resident orcas, we call forth your higher selves, we call forth your soul essences, we call forth your heart. Beautiful. And we also call forth the ancestor spirits of the orcas. The orcas, the southern residents who have passed over. And I also want to acknowledge and give thanks to the First Nations, the indigenous peoples living in what we call now the Pacific Northwest, that have been deeply connected to the orca, to the spirit of orca, honoring them, blessing them, and knowing them as family, knowing them, the sacred sea wolves. And I really would just want to extend blessings today and ask that Source delivered blessings, all the energy of divine love that we build today, that we call in today, also be extended to all the indigenous First Nation tribes of what we call Vancouver Islands, the coast, all of the nations up into Washington, the islands, all of the First Nations and Indigenous peoples here. I ask that this divine love is extended to their frequency, their families, and everything that they are collectively going through, knowing that this ancient relationship between the Indigenous people and the orcas is sacred. And as the Indigenous were harmed deeply, deeply and traumatized, so too were the orcas. And as the orcas are harmed, so too are the Indigenous, because they have been living in this union. And some tribes even more, more potently, as each tribe has their different animals that are really deeply family and connected into them. So just feeling this divine light, it could be a blue light, it could be any color light that's going into the waters of, the Pacific here, the Salish Sea, and into the lands and into the tribes and the First Nations with their higher self's permission only, blessing Gaia, and just asking that, again, the beauty, the divine love that we build today is just offered to all of the ancestors, all of the people, all of the whales, the orca, the water, and the whole ecosystem that is a part, the salmon, sending love to the salmon, sending love to all parts of the ecosystem, including the trees. The trees are very, very key in the health of the salmon. If you look up the life cycle of a salmon, knowing how important the tree and the tree roots are, and the shade of the streams and the nutrients. So just taking a moment first to bless, to see this blue light or another color light that comes through, of divine love, of divine power, divine will, blessing all the ecosystem. And now just seeing yourself, feeling yourself in the waters of the Pacific, the Salish Sea. And we invite now the presence of J-Pod to be the main beings that we're interfacing with today, but seeing all the southern residents today connecting with us now. Their higher selves, their soul, their essence. And just taking a moment to breathe in and making that connection. I call forth J-Pod of the southern resident orcas. I call forth your souls, your essence, your higher selves, to connect with my own heart essence, my own soul. I come now today in connection with you. to offer love and blessings. And with your permission, I ask that we may, you're saying this with me, that feels good. I ask that we may give a celebration of life, a sacred funeral to the baby who's just passed, that was born of Tahlequah, J35. Beautiful. So feeling, sensing, or seeing these beloved orcas giving their permission. And feeling now, just imagining that there's this baby orca that's in the center of our circle with the orcas, with their souls. And she's surrounded by light. This baby is surrounded by pure light, indicating that she's now, and I don't know if they ever knew the sex. I don't think they did of the baby, but I'm gonna call her a she because she feels like a she to me. And just feel that she's surrounded by light, indicating that she is in the heavenly realms now, that she's made the transition, a bridge from earth to heaven, heaven to earth. And from your heart, bringing forth an offering from your heart. It could be a flower that comes from your heart. It could be a song of your soul. It could be a crystal that flows out of your heart. It could be anything that comes from love. And just as you would at a funeral, laying down roses or flowers, the base of the coffin, go ahead and share that gift with this baby orca and with her mother and her family who loves her, or him, the soul. You may see, sense, or feel her family and all the southern residents singing together in blessings. And just for a moment, we say, thank you, beloved one. Thank you, sacred soul, for blessing us with your presence, sharing your divine innocence and power with the waters, with Gaia, with your family, for the time that you came onto this planet in a physical body. Thank you. And we allow now, imagining there's this sort of vortex of pink, this spiral energy of pink. You might see it right around the baby or in the center of our circle. And the baby's mother now, Tahlequah, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but hopefully I am. Tahlequah, J35, is invited. We invite this beautiful mother who's lost not one, but two babies recently to allow her to have this place where she can share her grief and be witnessed and have it go into this vortex of pink energy. I'm just going to go directly to the Divine Mother, to the Goddess. And so just inviting Mother Orca, Tahlequah, J35. We invite your higher self, your soul, your presence to be held in our love. So go ahead and just sending this beautiful being love and just feeling the container, not even necessarily right directly to her, like giving her space, but having this circle of love, pink love flowing around us, this pink vortex in the center, and just giving her space in this safe container of our love and our presence for her to grieve, for her to feel, for her to use this moment and use this vortex of love in whatever way that she needs. Divine love offered here, feeling divine love from your heart, flowing in a circle around us now and encircling the orcas and baby. Going ahead now, and now focusing your love directly on Mother J35, Tahlequah, Sacred Mother Orca. You can go ahead and now send that pink love directly to her heart. Whatever color might be coming up, if it's not pink, just blessing directly to her heart, saying, I love you. I honor you. I respect you. I thank you. And then extending that out to her whole family, this divine love. I love you. I honor you. I thank you. I respect you. And just allowing that love to flow, that connection to flow. We call upon now the angels, the archangels of Mother, Father, God, and call upon the Orca family in heaven, J-Pod's family, the Southern Residents family, and ancestors from heaven. We call upon Granny. to flow through potent waves and energies of divine love to J-Pod, to the southern residents, to this sacred baby who's now in heaven with them. And feeling them and sensing them all together, all of us together, the veil lifted, heaven and earth together. J-Pod, the southern residents, in the ocean and in heaven, and us together, sending waves and waves of divine love to each other, blessing the ocean, blessing the Salish Sea, blessing these orcas. And we ask now from heaven, from the heavenly realms, call upon the higher self of Granny. We call upon the higher selves and souls of the ancestors of the southern residents in heaven. We call upon you from the heavenly realms, including the First Nations ancestors in heaven that tended to and honored and loved the orcas deeply. And we ask them now with our own higher selves and pure source consciousness in the name of God to flow through whatever the southern residents need to thrive in their mission here. We ask for nourishment. We ask for whatever frequencies, whatever is needed from the heavenly realms, flow through now. We ask the southern residents, J-Pod, please receive this. We ask the ocean, please receive this. We ask the land, please receive this. We ask Gaia, please receive this. We ask humanity, please receive this. And feeling this pearlescent, white, milky pearl light, maybe with some pastel rainbow hues flowing from the heavenly realms. And if you see something else, that's perfect too. And literally starting to flow through the molecules of water of the Salish Sea, of the Pacific, that these beautiful beings live in. Blessing Tahlequah, J35, Mother Orca, blessing her heart, filling her with nourishment from heaven, from her family. With your higher self's permission, may you receive this, beloved. We love you. And allowing her whole family, just seeing the orcas be filled with this pearlescent white light of heaven. The waters that they swim in, their home, blessed. The salmon be blessed with this white light of heaven. This white light of heaven extending out to all of humanity, and anybody particularly who has power here, who is a part of the DFO, the Department of Fishery, whatever they're called, like the organizations that control the fish farms and other organizations that, chemical companies, all, like, whoever has any hand in anything that could possibly be beneficial for the orca or detrimental to the orca, beneficial to the water and the ocean and the salmon, or detrimental. We ask this light of heaven to flow through, bless their hearts, bless their higher selves, give them strength, give them divine love, that they may make a wise decision based in divine love, based in their soul frequency. We ask for God's divine intervention here to rehabilitate the waters, the salmon, the architecture of the ocean, and the home waters and lands of the orcas. We ask for a divine intervention in the First Nation, Indigenous people, and tribes of these lands and waters. We ask for an intervention, a divine dispensation from heaven, that the true organic architecture of these beings, their home, is resurrected, replenished, restored. And just seeing light and life and nourishment grow here, grow so much that it's blessing all of life, going out in all directions, from the Salish Sea, from this area of the Pacific, from these orcas, filled with so much light of heaven that it's a blessing and radiating in all directions. for a divine dispensation from heaven, a divine dispensation from source, a divine dispensation from our helpers in heaven, to bless the orca, to bless the waters, to bless all of life, to bless the salmon, to bless the ecosystem, and to bless our own hearts who grieve with them. And I'm just going to give you a moment now. I want you just to connect in with the orca, with the orcas. Connect in with their hearts, this heavenly energy, and just ask, is there a message or an energy frequency transmission that you would have me receive now? Just open your heart, receive whatever's coming through, even if you don't know what it is. Setting the intention, I open to receive a message from J-Pod, a message from the Southern Residents, a message from heaven, frequency, whatever I need to be a part of the healing of my own journey of the ocean of all beings. Taking a deep breath. And I'm just seeing blue flame now from the angelics, from Archangel Michael, from the angels of the blue ray and blue flame. I'm just seeing sacred blue flame of Mother, Father, God, just blessing the waters, blessing the orcas, blessing the baby, blessing the babies, blessing this gathering, blessing the ecosystem, blessing the indigenous, blessing with blue flame. Blue flame, for those of you who haven't worked with it before, is the frequency of divine will, of divine truth, of divine perfection, that Archangel Michael energy of divine truth, divine integrity, divine will. May divine will be done here, knowing that divine will is divine love, and it allows energies to come into coherence, come into integrity, come into truth, come into their true organic architecture, their true divine organic nature, among so many other things. I have a whole course on it. But for now, just knowing that and bringing the blue flame into these waters, these beings. Seeing yourself covered in blue flame. See this gathering covered in blue flame. Archangel Michael, Michael, bathing us in blue flame, knowing that this blue flame comes in the name of God for your highest and best. Knowing that this blue flame comes in the name of God for the orca's highest and best. Seeing Gaia fully covered in blue flame, the ocean fully in blue flame. There we go. Blue flame going into the center, the core of Gaia. Inviting the divine energy, inviting the divine organic architecture, the divine will to be activated, divine truth to be activated. Good. The soul songs of the orcas, the soul song of Gaia activated in this blue flame. Your own essence activated in this blue flame. Bringing coherence to this gathering and these prayers. And we ask, Mother, Father, God, thank you for bringing pure coherence to all of the energy, the intention, the prayer today. Thank you for bringing even more coherence to our prayers, even more power to our love. Thank you for taking the energy that we've shared and given today and even expanding it, bringing it into a higher light, more coherence, more power, more fruitful nourishment for all beings, for the orcas, for the waters, blue flame, blue flame, blue flame flowing through, allowing this to be so. You are. Orcas covered in blue flame, sacred, cool blue flames, very helpful for them. With their higher self's permission, may they receive it. And bringing now from the core of Gaia, seeing the core of Gaia, her center, alive with this blue flame. Seeing it flow through the orcas, blue flame. And then seeing it in your heart and flow into your heart, blue flame. May I honor my personal power to be of assistance, to serve the liberation of all beings. May I allow Mother, Father, God to awaken within me what my role is here, to help, to serve. Blue flame rising up your spine, activating your personal power for your own role here, for your own piece of the puzzle of healing, awakening, transformation, and celebration. Blue flame rising up the spine, your cells, atoms, and electrons alive with blue flame. And just feeling that intention, whatever your beliefs are, Mother, Father, God, use me, divine, use me, love, use me, soul, flow through me. How may I be of service? What is my role here? Just let it organically open up. You don't need to know it. You don't need to hear it. Just know that it's happening. And finally, we'll send one final blessing to J-Pod and the Southern Resident Orcas. I love you. I honor you. I respect you. I thank you. I'm with you. And taking 3 deep breaths, letting that integrate and giving thanks. Thank you to the Southern residents. Thank you, Orcas, for allowing us to connect with you today. And just feeling if you're a yes for this connection to be opened in your body and your heart to these beings. To continue the connection after this call. If you're open to their higher selves, their souls, their essences, to visit you in your dreams, to work with you, to support you in your mission and your healing, and to empower you to know the next step of your greatest power to change this planet into pure light for all beings. And sacred womb, blessings of Mother. So if you're a yes, just feel that heart opening up, receiving this connection with the orcas, saying, yes, I invite you into my life, into my heart, your sacred essence and divine love. I open to receive you in my dream time. May I open this connection. And so it is. All right, taking a deep breath in now. And when you're ready, there's no rush. You can open your eyes back to the space. All right, welcome back, everyone. So thank you so much for being a part of this gathering. And just taking a moment to be present with yourself, your body, tender. Just come out of quite a quantum experience. And just feeling that as we close this call, just feeling what you might need after this call, after this moment, whether you need water, to go for a walk, to have some food, to just breathe, to journal, to dance, to have a nap. And some of you might have to go and rush off somewhere, and that's okay too. Mikova says, thank you very much. Miriam says, this is so beautiful. Thank you so much. And if you would like to share anything about what came through for you, I would love to hear it. If there is a message, if there was something that you received that you feel like you want to put into this space, if you're live, you can do that in the chat. And if you're in replay, you can do that in the comments. And that would be really beautiful if there's anything that you do want to share. Saad says, thanks, Beth. Lots of blessings to you. Corinne says, oh my God, I just opened up my eyes to my spirit animal, the hawk, flying right by. And I was in such tears in the depths of grief until the very end. I'm sorry I wasn't able to ground and give them stability. Oh, that's okay. I was in deep grief. One of the messages from the orcas is that this baby and this brave mama who showed her grief and showed to the world, a part of the invitation in that is to, it's not to shame, it's not to say, humans, you suck, look what you've done. It's to invite humanity into a relationship with our emotional bodies. And so whatever, because orcas are emotional body masters. And so whatever comes up when you connect, and if it's grief, if it's shame, if it's guilt, when you connect with this mama losing her baby and many babies that have been lost and all the hardships that they're facing and the kidnapping that's been happening in their family, from the 60s, and whatever you feel is a part of the healing. It's a part of the greater healing, that they are bringing up what needs to be felt in the collective. They're bringing up within you what is like a breadcrumb trail for you and your own personal healing, if that makes sense. And so this morning I was doing that, and I followed the breadcrumb trail of my feeling of feeling guilt and then shame that I couldn't do more, that this is happening, that I feel helpless. And I followed the breadcrumb trail, inviting the orcas to help me transmute and feel. And then I was guided into my solar plexus to then activate my personal power. And the message of meditating on the baby, the dead calf, was this journey from shame to guilt up into my personal power, to activate that personal power. So if we tune in, and instead of going, oh yeah, that's sad, and then going on with our day, but if we tune into what is happening with the cetaceans, with the whales and the dolphins, and we have a moment to feel it, It's going to lead us into an opening, an awakening of something that we need to look at, something that we need to feel. And I'm hearing right now, if humanity just did that, if humanity just felt, that's really sad. It makes me feel really sad. It makes me feel angry. It makes me feel this way. Whether it's with the orcas, whether it's with another animal or the forest or the trees, and we actually just took a moment instead of being numb all the time, numb, numb, another headline, another headline, another headline, I'm numb, I'm numb, I'm numb. If we just took more moments to feel and feel it, what is this bringing up in me? Where do I feel it in my body? Now, I don't expect you to do this for every headline. You would be feeling your feelings for eternity. But in the pieces that feel like, oh, there's something there for me, that is an invitation to our own healing, and it guides us into the next level of our empowerment. And is, if every human did that, we would be light years ahead. In literally one day, this earth would be different because we would have cleared up so much of the, what I'm being shown is the stagnancy and almost these ghosts within the emotional body of humanity that, are in the emotional body of humanity and stuck and preventing us from being our full selves and being in our full light bodies. So yeah, grief is good. That's a really good thing that you spent the whole call in grief and feeling. That's an important part of the journey. Okay. So Carol says, thank you, beautiful. Was my first session with the gorgeous Orca. Beautiful. I'm so happy to help you connect with them. Bianca says, thank you. Such a blessing to feel mother, baby love and grief. Thank you for being here. Jessica says, your grief is sacred. Just keep feeling and breathing. Beautiful. Sarah says, I thought I would be sad, but I felt peace and calm. Received the message to embody play, joy, lightheartedness. Beautiful. Dana says, so many tears, so much grief, so much beauty. I was told I am majestic. Beautiful. Crane says, okay, good. Thank God, because I wanted to give so much love and pink love, but all I could do was cry so deeply and apologize to them for what our species has done to them. Yeah. And they're also here to give that love back, right? Like, we are family together, so we're supporting each other through this. Yanina says, thank you so much, Beth. So much pink energy flowed into her womb and fallopian tubes. Her babies were with her in spirit. I had a heavy, sharp pain on my right side. I thought it was in my heart, but it was on the wrong side. I saw a crystal ocean droplet with an orca whale tail, top and bottom. I kept hearing the word codex. I also saw the orca I connected with in SeaWorld. She was so sad, but a beautiful vortex for baby pink light went into her. She stood on her tail out of the water and was magnificent. Wow. Cynthia says, thank you, Beth Catherine and the Orcas, for providing me an even deeper understanding that my judgments block connection. Oh, thank you, with love. Magdalena says, oh, I got the time wrong. I thought it was now. You're here. You're feeling the frequency. Yeah, we'll be on the replay. The replay will be up shortly on my YouTube channel. So thank you so much for being here, everyone. I really, 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 really appreciate it so much, whether you're live, whether you're on replay. And I'm just feeling very excited and grateful and honored that so much connection has been opened up between souls and the orcas and the southern residents, and just makes me happy to know that there is greater energy flowing. And if I could close the call, I would just share that the whales and the dolphins, the orcas, like, they just want our presence. They are so sentient. They want our presence. They want us to think about them, to send them thoughts, to send them love, to just connect, to even just be with them in grief. Like, we are family, and they always remembered. And humanity has gone into this massive fall of consciousness. It's akin to someone you really, really love getting Alzheimer's and forgetting who you are, right? So if that's ever happened to you, it hasn't happened to me in this lifetime at this point, but imagine someone you really, really love. You go to visit, you try to connect with, and they're like, hi, who are you? And imagine that's like the orcas to humanity, and that's the whales and the dolphins to humanity. They love us so much. We are family to them. And the vast majority of humanity has complete Alzheimer's and forgetfulness. And it's just like, oh yeah, who are you? Oh, cool. Like that was fun. Whale watching, whatever. Yeah, like I saw a cool picture. And that depth of connection that has been there for thousands and thousands of years when we were in our higher consciousness stopped. That love. So that's what they want. They just want our presence. They just want us to be with them. Even if we don't know how to communicate and have the most crazy one-on-one conversation, this quantum thing and vision happen, like, don't worry about that. They just want, like, hi, orcas, I'm thinking about you. I love you. I'm so grateful for you. I love you, whales. I love you, dolphins. Thank you for being you. I open my heart to receive whatever you want to share with me today, and I'm sharing my love with you. So that's just a really simple takeaway action step that you can have from this gathering. And I am 100% positive that in 5 years, and 10 years, and 20 years, and 30 years, there's going to be this massive awakening around the sentience of, cetaceans and our relationship and communication there. So I'm looking forward to that. Just finished reading the comments. And then we will close. Nori says, thank you so much. I connected with Granny. She was so grateful that we were here in presence to witness. And in this, so much healing took place for all the orcas, us, and the whole ocean. Yay. Nicholas says, the orcas shared a blue flame, uniting heart circle, beaming with radiance and healing for all the ocean beings of the world healing together. I saw the spirit baby of Tahlequah presented with a blue crystal rose that would be carried in spirit, like Mother showed to all the oceans, crystallizing the communion of this reunited bridge. It's funny because I was deciding what background I wanted for this, and right before I was doing it, I was putting blue roses over the orcas. But then I realized I had the photo of the wrong orca because I wanted the J-pod, so I didn't use it. So I was actually in the frequency of connecting with Blue Rose right before we did this. This reunited bridge, this return of people as the creator avatars assisting with the seas and all of life, healing and awareness. The message received loud and clear is how one voice, one heart, one story, one breath, one rose, one whale, one human being can co-create miracles. When we truly honor the pulse of life inside and out, may the clear light of presence assist us all healing forever more gratefully. So how beautifully shared. Dana says, thank you, Beth, and everyone. Big love to all. Nicholas says, we are the ones we've been breathing forth. Let love breathe complete for all beings. Peace. Irene says, thank you so much for facilitating this beautiful communion with our Orca family. Thank you, everyone, for being here and sharing those words. Live and replay. I will leave you here and just sending waves and waves of gratitude to your heart, to the orcas. It's such an honor to get to do these powerful calls with you, and I look forward to seeing you again for the next Dolphin Healing Collective call. If you're seeing this on replay, the link, if you're just like, how do I join? The link to learn more about our live events is below. So if you want to get emails when we're going live, it will be there. Corinne says 111. All right, lots of love. Bless you. Bye, everyone.